My name is Madeleine, and I was a gymnast with Okanagan Rhythmics many moons ago. And I thought I would share something about my experience with balancing gymnastics and academics and what the impact of training and competition was on my schooling. I started with the national stream in grade 6, and I competed up to and including grade 11. So I finished gymnastics at the end of grade 11. So pretty important academic years, pretty serious years that can really impact the path that you're going to take for the rest of your life. When I was competing, when I first started, I trained before school 3 to 4 days a week, and certainly by high school I was training before school 4 to 5 days a week. I often train before school and after school, and when I did train before school, it would go later and later as I got older. So by the end, certainly I was training until 10:30 in the morning, or later if it was before a competition. In addition, of course, with competitions, I missed a lot of school. I was away a lot. I had the incredible good fortune of having competitions year-round that I was sent to, and training camps, for example, as well, would cut into schooling. My experience is also a little bit different because when I was in grade 10, I actually took the second semester of grade 10 off from school. I did Science 10 and Socials 11 by correspondence during that semester, but otherwise I just trained. And that was just a personal decision that I wanted to focus on gymnastics, and together with my family and my coach, Camille, we made that happen. There was no sports school program or support for such a program when I was in grade 10, but when I started grade 11, that was the first year that Vernon had a high performance program out of VSS. So I switched high schools in grade 11 to be part of that program. And when I was part of that program, I can't remember exactly, but I challenged some courses. There were courses like English 12, for example, that I didn't take, but I just wrote the provincial instead. I did kind of that quasi correspondence. The extracurriculars I didn't do, for example, PE. I don't think I ever did PE in high school, and other classes that I would be able to get credit for my work in gymnastics. My personal opinion, I think gymnastics actually helped me academically. Certainly, I have always loved school, and I always did quite well at school, but I think that gymnastics really helped me be focused. Primarily, I would say gymnastics is really good at giving kids time management skills, because there is something very pressing, which is gymnastics, and it takes up a lot of time, and you don't have time to mess around is basically how I would describe it. So in grade 8 or 9, I can remember there were multiple occasions where at lunchtime, I'd have lunch with my friends, and that was great. After I'd eat, then I would just squeeze in some homework because I had training after school, and I knew I wouldn't have time, and I knew I'd have training the next morning. And so when I get home after gymnastics in the evening, I just want to eat and go to bed, and I wouldn't have time for homework because I'd start again training the next morning. So I would think ahead and recognize that I don't have time for homework, so it needs to be done before I leave the school at 3 o'clock this afternoon. There were, in high school, you have spares, and they're actually meant for schoolwork, but lots of people don't do that. I just did it. I just used that time. I was also very efficient in class. When you were given time to work, and then whatever you didn't finish you had to take as homework, I just worked and I just got it done. Connected to that, I would say another skill that gymnastics gave me was an ability to see my own limits, and a comfort with asking for help and asking for guidance. And so when I was in class doing my work that would otherwise have been homework, the great thing about doing that and being focused in that time that you're given by the teacher is when you come up to a problem that you don't know how to solve and you need some help, the teacher's right there, rather than fooling around and not doing your work during class time and then going home that evening and realizing you need some help and guidance. So I didn't have time to waste and to pretend I knew how to solve a problem I didn't know how to solve. So I was always very happy to put up my hand and ask for help and get very clear on what I need to do so I could get it done so that later I get to the gym. I don't think that gymnastics has negatively impacted me. As I said, I think it was a positive experience. After I finished gymnastics, I graduated from high school and I went on to get a bachelor's degree in political science. And then I went on to law school. I was a family law lawyer for a little while, and now I work for the Ministry of Children and Family Development, and I am their director of litigation. So what that means is when the government is sued, I direct a program, I manage a team that deals with that, is the easy way to describe it. So it's certainly an academic area of work that still requires excellent time management skills, that still requires an ability to recognize limits, ask for help, gather resources, and get work done. And those are skills that I continue to carry with me into my career, which ultimately were developed in the gym. So I hope that's helpful. I'm really happy to chat with folks that want some more information about how I managed it, but I really don't think that it hindered me in any way. I think it just actually made me a better, more focused student.